Hello, I am Chanel. This is my channel. I thought I'd do a bit of a get to know me by doing the end of year tag. It's a VR to Ariel Basselt. And I thought it was a good way to just introduce myself. So I originally had all of my book videos on my main channel, which is Spirited Stardust, but I decided to shift them over because books are my biggest passion and I wanted to sort of keep it separate from everything else. So I am 37 years old. I have 2 kids. I'm a former librarian. Now I trade the stock market from home thanks to the big pandemic. I love to read. I've been reading since I was 4 years old. I can remember reading in kindergarten. I just love everything to do with books and being able to live all these other lives and step into these other worlds. And I love listening to other booktubers. It's my favorite way of finding new books to read. I live in Australia, if you couldn't tell by the accent. I am down under. And I have 3 rescue cats who generally feature a lot in my reading vlogs. They're just always around. You'll always see at least one cat in every vlog. I mostly read a lot of like fantasy, romance, YA and nonfiction. But this year I did branch out and I read contemporary and I read poetry and I read like a lot of genres basically. I tried to keep my palette broad and try new things. My favorite romance trope is enemies to lovers. That's my jam. I'm obsessed with that. I'm also bi and neurodivergent, so I like to read a lot of LGBTQIA books too. I don't know what else to say. I think that's pretty much a good little summary of a hello, and let's get on to the prompts. So the first prompt is a book I need to finish by the end of the year, and for me that is this one, Kiss Curse. So I am still reading it. For some reason I'm just finding it hard to get into, but I do want to finish it by the end of the year. It's the second in a series. There's these witches in this town and then these also male witches in the town, and they sort of have a antagonistic relationship, but naturally, as you can imagine, the women start to form relationships with some of these brothers. So it's very cute, it's very light, it's not very heavy, it's like a fun time. So far it's okay. It's like I said, it's taking, I'm barely, I don't know, I'm not feeling it so much at the moment, but I'm keeping sort of hopeful that I'll enjoy it, but I need to finish it, definitely. The next prompt is like, do I have a seasonal book to take me into, like, I think it was autumn. And no, I don't really read many seasonal books. Like in summer, I don't feel the need to read books based on summer. It's summer now in Australia. So yeah, I don't actually have anything at the moment that is seasonal. The next prompt is, are there any new books that you are excited about? Any new releases coming? And yes, I'm very, very excited about The Secret Service, Tea and Treason by India Holton. This is the 3rd in the series. I didn't really like the first book. I frothed over the second book. I was gaga for it. It just made me so happy. It was such a fun time. It's about pirates and witches and flying houses and sort of cute romantic adventures. It's very lighthearted and there's a lot of banter and a lot of humor, and I'm very, very excited for the 3rd one, so I cannot wait for that to come out. And then it's, what are 3 books you'd like to read before the end of the year? So for me, one of them is Mooncakes. I had it with me and I've gone and taken it to my study. It's a graphic novel. I am excited to read it. I've been waiting, hoping it would come to my library, and I requested it and they did purchase it, but sometimes the library, it just takes a long time with admin and processing. I would know because I used to work there, to get in, and I'm like, I can't wait anymore. I'm just gonna go buy it. So I have it and I flipped through, like just looked at it, and it looks gorgeous. Like the quality and the pages and the illustrations look amazing. So I'm definitely going to read that before the end of the year. Absolutely, probably today, probably right after this. The other 2 books I want to get through, Poster Girl by Veronica Roth. This just caught my eye. I don't even know what it's about. Former poster girl for the delegation. Oh, maybe it looks like it might be dystopian. Yes, it's a dystopian mystery that explores the role of surveillance on society. It's hitting close to home. So I was just grabbed by the cover and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take you home. And then I also want to get through Gideon the Ninth, because I heard that this series was amazing and that it's really funny. So it's hefty though. I don't know if I'm going to get through this one, but I'm hoping to start it at least before the new year. I'm always looking for a good sci-fi. Oh, a lesbian necromancers. Well, can't ask for more than that, can you? The next prompt was, what book do you think could be a fave? So I had to go grab it because I do think it's going to be this one. So this is Mooncakes, but just look at these illustrations, guys. Like, how gorge. Oh, I don't want to go too far at the end and spoil myself in editing, but how beautiful are these pictures? I'm so excited. So, and I already saw that the main character's name is Nova, and she works for Black Cat Books. And my black cat is named Nova. So I feel like that's serendipitous, you know, I feel like that's a important, fortunate sign that I will enjoy this. So I've got high hopes that that will be a fave. What are my reading plans for next year? So my reading plans are to get through my TBR. It is quite hefty. It's a bit overwhelming. I do want to make a dent into that. I thought, you know, I will keep my eye out for new releases. Obviously, you can't walk away. If my library has something new out, I'm probably going to grab it. But majority of my books will be the ones that I've already tagged on my TBR and making my way through those. I would like to do a single book vlog, so a vlog of me taking you on the ride and all my reactions and emotions reading a book. So that would be spoilery because I'd like to talk about what I read while I read it. It's so hard for me not to just do spoilers. I'm such a spoiler girl. I want to talk about specifics, nitty gritty.
Go into incredibly descriptive details of the story so we all know.
So it's very hard to talk broadly. So I would love to do a reading vlog of a book. That way I can really like get into the meat of it. If you've got any recommendations for a book that you want to see me do a reading vlog of that I haven't read, let me know. I also want to slow down. So I am a speed reader, and this year I just really got into a reading frenzy, and I read an extraordinary amount of books, and it's too much. It is too much. I want to have more depth, more of a slow year, a depth year, take my time and sit with it rather than just going on to the next. Like as soon as I finish a book, I'll pick up another one, and I rarely have a break in between. If anytime I find myself with free time, it's like I grab a book and read it. So I would also like to spend more time gardening and more time following other creative pursuits rather than just solely reading. That being said, I do want to listen to some audiobooks because I can do that while I'm doing other things. Even though I don't normally like to multitask, I find that when I'm crocheting, I love to have something to entertain my ears while I'm crocheting. So that's a fantastic thing. Same thing with when I'm going for a walk. Sometimes I like to hear the nature sounds. Sometimes I like to sink into my own world while I'm walking. So I think audiobooks would be fantastic for that. I'm still very new here. I only started a channel this year, so I'm still finding my feet, so to speak, and trying to figure out what my style is, what direction I want to go in. Haven't quite decided. So I'm still trying to figure things out. But yeah, if there's any videos that you'd like me to see me do, let me know. Like recommendations are the best. So take the thinking process away from me and just give me a prompt and I will run with it. I'm also going to be more selective in my choices. I think that's a thing too. This year I did branch out of my genres and really try new things and genres that I've just never read from before. So, and that was really good. I obviously had a lot of DNFs because of that though. I won't read a book that I know I'm not gonna like. If I'm having to push myself through it, no, life's too short. Life is too short to force yourself to read something that isn't effortless and engaging and entertaining. I'm here to be entertained. So I'm happy that I've been very strict with my DNFing. But that being said, like I want to find some more poetry that I enjoy. I'd love to find contemporary fiction that I love. Like because of going out of my genre, I found a contemporary romance reader that I enjoy, Emily Henry. You know, and if I wouldn't have found her if I didn't try new things. So I'm still wanting to try new things, but I'm also going to actually look the book up before I grab it. So I am a big based on the cover girl. You know, I'll go to my library, see the new books, and I'm like, oh, she's pretty, and just, you know, take them home. And a lot of the time it's like, oh, I don't like the topic of this, so I'm going to read blurbs because I don't normally read blurbs either. I just grab it based on the looks, and I'm going to read reviews. So I'm you know, without spoiling myself, I want to be like, okay, how many is this rated? If it's got lower than a 3 rating, maybe, you know, do a bit more research. If it's over 4, I'll just grab it. But yeah, so I'm trying to be a bit more selective of choosing books that I think have a high chance of wowing me. But that is everything for this tag. I hope that wherever you are having a glorious morning, afternoon, or evening, and that your new year is fan-freaking-tastic. And as always, stay wild, Star Child.